You're listening and tuning into
the station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
best music. Ethic Radio. Broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. Hello. What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to Ethic Talk Radio. I'm your host, A.C.Ceenno. And yes, we broadcasting live here from Los Angeles, California, y'all. Giving y'all some exclusive topics here on the hour. We're going to touch on a lot of great things here. But before I do, y'all, I would like to introduce this wonderful, great person here. This is the surprise guest that I mentioned earlier, y'all, on the radio. She's a great person, y'all. One of my good peeps. One of my fams right here. Let's give it up for Giavonni here on Ethic Talk Radio, y'all. Yes. Say hello to the listeners out there. How you doing? What's going on?
How you guys?
Man. Let's give her a round of applause, y'all. The one and only. So, girl, what's up with you? How you doing? How was your day? What's popping? What's going on with you? I'm glad that you're here on Ethic Talk Radio with your boy, with your bro, representing real hard.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, anytime. I feel that everybody deserves an opportunity as long as they come in correct. You know what I mean? And they ain't with all that BS. Go ahead. What you say?
I said, I feel you. I agree.
Yeah. So, in case people don't know who Giavonni is, she's one of our J4K families here. Been riding hard for Jenkins since day one, when it all started, when it all went down, the struggles, broken barriers, done some great photos for Kanika. Rest in peace to Kanika Jenkins, y'all. Also, look, y'all, don't forget to follow us on the Mixcloud app in case you missed this program. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, get them likes up, because I know y'all here listening to us live here on the air here on Ethic Talk Radio. So, also, don't forget to sign up and follow us on the Patreon account, y'all. So we're going to touch on some things about Kanika. I know a lot of people been touching on the hotel, but this time today, we're not going to touch on the hotel. What we definitely want to touch on here is Kanika Jenkins' funeral service. Also, new updates about what's going on with the medical examiner. And we also want to touch on the children that are being kidnapped based off the things they post on social media. So we want to bring awareness because, you know, you got a lot of pedophiles out there that are praying for vulnerable children, vulnerable people to kidnap them and harvest their bodies. I really don't like to touch on organ trafficking, but I feel that it's very important to bring awareness in regards to the situation. Sex trafficking, the kidnap. Also, we want to touch on R. Kelly. Oh, man. Oh, that song, I admit, that was a long song, y'all. A very long song. 19 minutes and 7 seconds. Oh, boy. Man. But you know what, though? We're going to touch on that. R. Kelly's from Chicago as well. He represented the city. He also mentioned about Chicago in his song as well. So, only time will tell that he will reach out like he said he would, or if he is, we don't know. Only in time we will know. You know what I mean? So let's get down to the bottom of things, y'all, here on Ethic Talk Radio. Shout out to my listeners out there. Shout out to my peeps out there that's been, you know, listening, tuning in to us, watching our content and everything. We got some new content on also on YouTube in regards to Jedediah. You know, it was some things that popped off with Jedediah being arrested, wrongfully being arrested at that. Damn, that's some fucked up shit, y'all. I mean, Yo, fam, you saw that, right?
I saw it. It's like the police don't care. It's like our lives no longer mean anything
At all.
at all. It used to be where people looked up to the police, and now people are fearful, and they're attacking
Very
12-year-old
fearful.
people.
Mhm.
They're shooting us. They're beating us.
Right.
It's just sad.
It is very sad. It's so sad. It's so damn disturbing and unfortunate. And when Jedediah pulled those moves, those tactics when they try to, pin him down on the ground like that, when he mentioned he couldn't breathe. Like, man, I can't breathe, fucker. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he was on point
Mm-hmm.
with his shit overall. And he's been in a bad light with some people. He's been in a bad light with some of the people from the J4K movement, the J4K circles. Right. He's got a lot of bad blood. See, me personally, I'm just outside looking in. You know what I mean? I don't know the dude. I don't know Jedediah. I don't know who he is. You know what I'm saying? But all I know is that he was around day one when everything went down with Kanika being found dead in the freezer. And they had that press conference. And I have discovered who was all there in the beginning, which is interesting. A very interesting journey.
A very interesting journey. A lot of twists and turns.
Right.
To the Justice for K movement, but like I said, I'm still repping, been repping since day one. Continue to rep.
Like I said before, it is still J for K all day long. Still J for K. Now let's talk about the situation that's been going on with the J for K communities. As far as the groups, I like to talk about it because there's been a lot of messy business going on in these J for K groups. A lot of discrepancies. Mm-hmm. I shake my head as I sit back and I look at things. And I discovered in certain groups, there are people that are very private and appropriate with the way they address their information in regards to what transpired with Kanika Jenkins. Mm-hmm. Give us your take about that, because you're part of the J4K family. I'm part of the J4K family. So I want to get your perspective.
When Kanika first was found in the freezer, we first heard about the case. We were a united front. There were a lot more Justice for K people than they are now. There's a lot of I'm going to just say it, out chasing, drama, who don't like who,
right?
Who don't get along with who, stuff that really shouldn't matter if we're really, as my bro is, made a statement, still justice for Kanika. Because still if you're justice for Kanika, then all that should be, to the left. It should matter, it's more about who you're riding with, who you cool with.
Yeah, I agree. And they go like they some gangbangers. Don't affiliate with this person. This person here. Oh my goodness. I'm like, everybody was all for the cause. Everybody's supposed to come together and get along with one another. But the problem with that is that you have a variety of people that have hidden agendas in regards to the case. And there's some that really don't know about the case, but they're just jumping on the bandwagon, touching on things that we already seen before. We already heard before.
It's a lot of free information of stuff we like. They talk about the hotel. They talk about blurry, footage. They're talking about things that really should not matter, in the long run, because at the end of the day, Kanika died. And so you're saying you're justice for K, but you know, it's all about the views and the clout chasing, and it's just ridiculous. Like, are we in high school again?
Exactly. People are talking shit about other people. And with the shit talking they doing with other people, like I said before in the content, what happens when you do that? You give them some clout. Either way,
Yeah, you do.
it's just like you fell into their trap. They pissed you off, got you all worked up and everything, you know? And
right.
These kind of things happens at times. You got to just ignore the shit and just stay in your lane and do your own thing by any means necessary. You have some of these YouTubers that are sneak dissing other people, disrespecting
Yes.
other people. You know what I mean? And also you got people on Facebook doing the same thing.
Yeah.
With our journeys of being a part of J4K community, it has taken a toll on others as far as the stress, as far as the overwhelming with information being provided from other people. So
true.
Everybody deserves to have a voice. Like Gina Kidd, she out there holding it down, protesting, going to the hotel. She probably just, she probably just get up and say, you know what, I'm going to the Crown Plaza Hotel. Fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's very compassionate about getting justice for Kanika.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that are very compassionate. And I respect that. You can't knock anybody for them being compassionate, for them standing for something that they believe in, which is what? Justice for Kanika.
Kanika.
You dig?
Right. I dig. I feel you.
Yes. So, and this is why we on here on the hour, here on Ethic Talk Radio. You know, I just wanted to break that down and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I want to reach out to you because, you know, I've done a lot of interviews with a lot of people and I have not yet until now interviewed someone from the J4K community, the J4K circle. And it's an honor to have you on here on Ethic Talk Radio.
Oh, it's an honor. It's to be here. It really is.
Greatly appreciate everybody. I see the listeners are coming in right now. Let's talk about some things. Let's touch on something. One thing I definitely want to touch on. Children that are being exposed on Facebook. And what I mean by that is, you know, you got some people that's on YouTube with their kids and everything. It's nothing wrong with that. Nowadays, with the internet, with social media, you know, we have our young children that's on Facebook, and then you have people that's on Facebook pretending that they're the same age as our children, and they interact with them. And then here it is, they come up missing. Been happening every day. Shout out to Kev Gills for mentioning that on his live earlier. It's okay to take pictures of your children on your Facebook. Make sure your Facebook is private. Be careful who you add on your Facebook page, especially when you're taking pictures with your family or you're taking pictures with your children. And then all of a sudden there are wolves in sheep clothing that will come after your children. Seriously, it's very scary. And the reason why I say it's very scary is because these type of things are happening right now to our younger youth, to our teenagers. And that's how these girls been coming up missing.
Every day.
Yeah, like every day, because it's not just only in Chicago. It's everywhere. I mean, you got kids that are being kidnapped. They see a picture of a child. They go up to the school and then they snatch your child up. And next thing you know, your child is being shipped off to a different country, missing. It's scary. It's some scary shit. You know what? I want to find that clip so I can play it for y'all and share it. Because, oh man, it's deep. What do you think about that?
As a mother myself, my daughter's 10. She turned 10 in April, April 25th. Shout out to Jada. I do take photos with me and my baby, but Like you said, my Facebook is private. My Instagram is private. She has an Instagram that's private. So like you said, it's bringing awareness, and I don't have everybody on my Facebook because I don't trust everybody.
I don't blame you.
I'm that mom that will bust a cap in somebody. Excuse me.
It's all right. Bust a cap in their ass. I don't blame you.
I don't play when it comes to Jada Nicole Bynum. That's my baby. So I don't know, people who are on my Facebook know I don't be posting as much pictures of my baby as I used to.
Right.
I realize that, yes, I like to show her off or what we're doing, but like my big bro said, there are people in sheep's clothing that are waiting for the opportunity to let me get that little girl alone, or let me stay alone, or let me go up to the school. It's just very sad. Right. And you're going to have to be a little bit tighter rein on your children because it's like they don't care. It's like every day. Every day you wake up to it. Like I tell my baby, mommy does it because she loves you. Mommy doesn't want anybody to hurt you. You have to stay with me when we're in the grocery store. Don't walk away from me. Don't take candy from strangers. It's just certain things you have to feel. Do I want her to fear people? No, I just want her to be aware.
Right. Right. It's only fair. You want her to be aware by any means necessary. And it's always good to teach your kids the awareness at a very early age so that way they can understand it more, that the world is filled with crazy people.
Evil ass people.
Evil. Bona fide. I mean, shit. We living in those kind of times right now where people are doing conniving, evil things.
And it's like they don't care. If they are bold enough to walk to your kid's school, they don't have a fear in the world.
Not at all.
Because your kids, that should be the one place your kid, other than home, that your kid is safe. So I talked to my daughter about inappropriate touch. Nobody's supposed to touch you down there.
Yep.
But the doctor, if somebody does it, you tell mommy. I don't care what the person says to you. It's like she gets it. Like, okay. I think when she was younger, she was like, oh, my mommy's so mean. But I think seeing what happened to Kanika and seeing, every day children missing, she gets it. I might need to want to stay with my mom, because people are crazy.
Yeah, this is true. Give you a round of applause for that because you're on the right track in regards to teaching your daughter at an early age about the corruption of the real world when it boils down to people that are being evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I hate to kind of mess up her innocence, but it ain't like when me and you were growing up, AC, where it was a little bit, you could let your kids play at the neighbor's house. Nah, that shit ain't happening. I'll give you an example. We live in an apartment. These two boys was walking. This car followed these two boys. One boy went to his house. Then the car turned around and found the other boy to the other boy's doorstep. Little boy ran, told his mama, somebody's following me and my friend. Do you know that they got out the car and they were like, we're here to see your son? She's like, no, you're not coming in my house. Mm. They're bold enough to get out the car to knock on this person's door. They don't care. They don't care. And I remember her telling me this. And I said, well, it couldn't have been mine because I had to open the door with a gun.
Right.
The world is evil. And, you have to protect your baby. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. By any means necessary, you got to protect them babies, man, because you got to know who they are. I don't care if you got to know the dog. You got to know everybody. You got to know the whole atmosphere. Seriously, it's crazy. It's wild out there, y'all. It's wild out there. And this is why it's very important to bring awareness here. I got this clip I want to play here for the listeners and the viewers that's out there checking us out here on Ethic Talk Radio. It's about sex trafficking's social media target victims. Here it is right here on Ethic Talk Radio.
The end of last year, Facebook had 1.8 billion users worldwide.
And for many, posting and liking comments is just part of our daily lives, but those posts can sometimes turn into targets for sex traffickers.
Tonight, 15 finds out investigator Alyssa Ivanson continues her series Hidden Predators, digging deeper into how social media is used to trap victims.
Well, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, you've likely heard of those social media sites. But how about Kik or Yik Yak or Chat Roulette? All of them could be places predators solicit your kids, and you could have no idea they're being targeted.
It takes 24 hours to traffic a kid from the time they meet them online. 24 hours.
It can happen to anyone. Meeting up with someone from social media, and then they might disappear.
Post, like, comment, share. Social media is a big part of people's lives, especially America's youth.
Well, social media isn't evil itself, but it can be used for evil. Social media has opened up access.
Social media is designed to connect people, but it also makes it easier for predators to connect with their next victim.
Before, you'd have to go sit in front of schools and places where kids would play so that you could find kids that were out there that you could watch and maybe see if they were susceptible. Now you can just hop online and you've been friends with somebody. You see they're out there and someone just takes it upon themselves to see if they can prey on them.
Anyone you don't know in the real world is a stranger.
We wouldn't let strangers into our house. Why are we letting them into these kids' phones?
Many cases of sex trafficking start online and seem harmless at first.
People that want to hear that they're special and beautiful or handsome and smart, all the things that we want to hear, well, why wouldn't they say that to you? They're going to tell you that. Do they believe it? Probably not.
It's called grooming. Traffickers will monitor posts, pick their target, and prey on their weaknesses.
Traffickers look for naive children and they look for kids who are needy. If they're talking about they're sad and they're depressed, well, that's a kid I can recruit. I can get to that kid. I can find a way into their life. I can make them feel better. I can tell them, oh, you want to be a model? I'll make you a model.
If you put on there everything your parents don't understand and it's out there, how easy is it for me to pop up online and say, well, it doesn't have to be like that. I'll get your nails done. I'll get your hair done. You'll eat 3 times a day. You'll eat 4 times a day if you want. I'll give you a warm place to stay, nice hotels.
The person on the other side of the screen could also ask for pictures, promise they'll be private. But then the sexting turns into sextortion, basically cyber blackmail, threatening to share the provocative pictures unless they get what they want.
Nude images and what someone will do to keep their school from finding out that there's all these nude images and things they've done to themselves. Adults do the same thing. The ability to friend people on Facebook is easy. Make a fake page, same profile picture as the page of your target, the person you're trying to sextort, and then all the pictures in it are all their naked pictures. It's so easy to reach out to someone's entire family base.
I have met a 5th grade girl who, on Kik, shared a video with someone she thought cared about her. He's already sent it to several people.
Talk to your kids about this kind of stuff because it can happen.
How do you start that conversation as a parent? Like, what should that conversation look like?
Look, I'm really concerned about you. There's lots of bad people in the world. I really want to make sure that you're safe. And by having access to all of your internet and social media sites, I can help you with that.
Stop worrying about making them mad at you. But if you are that parent that's concerned about it, ask leading questions. A parent can come and say, hey, I heard about Kik. Can you show me what Kik is about? Start asking them, allowing your kids to teach you.
Not as a helicopter parent and to try to boss them around with this stuff, but just to say, look, we're in this together. The generation gap's got to close, and let's make this thing work together so that we can have a safe community.
Just last week, Remedy Live teamed up with police and Fort Wayne Community Schools to help educate parents about dangerous mobile apps and how to talk to their kids.
I want us to be so aware that any human trafficking rings of any size just say there's no chance we're going to make it in Fort Wayne because there's so much education.
How do adults talk to teens about sex trafficking?
Not to say, oh, sex trafficking is bad, we're going to get into a conversation about it, and that's the topic of the day. Obviously, it's not easy to talk about, but the more casual and more comfortable we make it is the way to go, I think.
Huntington North High School senior Corbin Landrum was part of a class project on human trafficking and helped make a video depicting how quickly someone can get trapped in the sex trade.
A lot of times people are coerced into it and they don't know necessarily that they're in it. They're in the middle of it. Oh, I'm your best friend, we're boyfriend, girlfriend. You think you love him, but then he asks for a favor and you think you don't have a choice but to say yes. And that's not true. If you're not comfortable with something, tell them.
If you could talk to all the teens in America, what is the number one thing you would say to them about human trafficking?
Be responsible on social media. Think through what you're posting. If I post this, is that going to attract something I don't want? If I post this, is this going to attract something I do want?
How difficult of a problem is this to combat?
Every day there's new sites, there's new apps, there's new ways predators can get to our children.
Which is why the best defense is an open, honest, and continuous conversation.
Always being in communication with your child. Know what they're doing. Ask them. Talk to them. Parent.
Wow. Now, you know, it's hard for us to really touch on these kind of topics here with sex trafficking, and it's happening with teenagers and all. They have these apps out here, can be unsafe, that can be dangerous for our children. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in the day when social media started to come around in regards to, like, before Facebook. What was before Facebook? MySpace. It was MySpace. And, you know, it was a lot of us that was on MySpace, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of artists that was pushing their music on MySpace, mainly teenagers on MySpace. But they had a setting under 18. You had to get a parent's consent in order to operate MySpace. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and then remember AIM, AOL, Instant Messenger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then you had the party line where you can call in and you meet women on the party line. It was a number you used to dial.
They still have that.
They be like, you have a message from. And then next thing you know, she might lie and say that she's over 18, but come to find out she's 14, trying to be grown, growing up too fast. You have some that are 12 years old, trying to be grown. And you have parents that allowed them to be grown at an early age. I mean, it's okay to develop them with maturity, but let them know that, look, this what can happen to you or anybody you know that's close to you.
Right.
Break it down to us.
I am stunned because, like I said, when I was growing up, it was none of that. The question was posed to me about my daughter, and I said, well, I'm going to have her password. I'm going to know who she's talking to. I think parents need to go back to stuff like that.
I agree. Parents need to go back into that era of monitoring what their kids are doing, especially if they're getting cell phones at an early age and they get introduced to social media apps like Facebook. Facebook have settings to where you can set up a privacy to where it's only young age kids. But see, Facebook is getting better with the way they're developing their privacy settings.
They are.
But you got hackers out there that are pedophiles, make up a profile saying that they're 16 or they 14 years old. They like that. Yeah. Like they're young, or they use someone else's picture. You know, they be on some catfish shit, getting fooled.
I think we need to go back to the time where we're parents instead of being friends. Yes, some hate us, but we're protecting them.
Right. This is true. This is why we have to bring awareness to this situation, because like it's still going on now today. This shit is not cool at all, because a lot of people will be like, man, what do you think about that? And I'll be like, me personally, I do feel that it does exist. There are movies out there. If you watch these Lifetime films, they exist. Hell yeah, there's a lot of Lifetime movies out there about children coming up missing and people coming up missing and teenagers coming up missing.
True.
And no one knows where they at or what happened to them in that moment. Just like what happened to Kanika, you know what I mean? And there's people that have their opinions in regards to, well, maybe her death was related to sex trafficking. We don't know because we wasn't there two-stepping. You dig? We don't know. It could be. It could be. You never know. It could be. I mean, shit. I just call it how I see it. Excuse my French. But you hear what I'm saying, though. You figure deal me, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So moving forward, y'all, on Ethic Talk Radio, we want to talk about Kanika's funeral. And there was some things that we've learned and we discovered. I'm going to start it off by saying, in the beginning, shout out to my boy, Mr. Mike Frazier, for putting me up on the situation in regards to what happened to Kanika Jenkins. In the beginning, there were people that were around in regards to what happened to Kanika. We want to touch on the funeral only because people have made false rumors in regards to Kanika not being in the casket. Now, I have privately interviewed some people that was there at the funeral. It was an interesting interview. This interview is documented. So if you want to read the full interview, sign up on Patreon on Ethic Archive Reels. Sign up on our Patreon account, y'all. Pay that $1, support us, because it was a deep rundown of this interview. And, you know, I had to protect their privacy because of the situation. So from what I've learned in the beginning, The eulogy was done by Andre Williams. Shout out to Andre Williams.
Shout out. Big
He's
shout out.
been around since day one when it all went down. Now, in this interview, I asked them this question. When you looked in the casket, was it Kenneka? All of them said yes, that was Kenneka, and she looked like she was beaten pretty bad. Her face was swollen. And the only reason why we want to touch on this because we want to break down the facts in regards to Kenneka being in the casket. People need to understand that, okay, yes, Kenneka's pigmentation wasn't the same as it was when she was alive. And what people don't know is that the medical examiners held Kenneka's body for about 2 weeks before they released Kenneka to Miss Teresa Martin. For people to say that she has something to do with her daughter being murdered, y'all need to chill the hell out with that shit. Come on now. If that was the case, she would not be asking everybody to help her with this situation. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
And that's real. Now, let's get down to the bottom of things, y'all, when we talk about this situation. And I'm just going to break it down from my perspective. You're going to break it down from your perspective. Now, let's start it now. Okay. When people saying that she was dark skinned in the casket and all, what people don't understand when you embalm a body, there's different types of embalming fluid. There's the kind of embalming fluid. They have the basic embalming fluid, depending on how long the body has been expired. The skin color changes. And then they have this type of embalming fluid that can make your skin glow. And they have the other kind of embalming fluid that will bring the pigmentation of the color back to the skin. It just depends on what kind of embalming fluid they put inside the body when it's deceased. So I want you to explain to me in your own narrative, because I know you have family that work in the mortuary business. Break it down to me and the listeners in regards to the whole embalming fluid. Break it down to us.
Well, first of all, my bro AC was saying, it also depends, like, you know, how long the body's been out, the draining of the blood from the body. Like you said, the different embalming fluid and how badly the person was hurt determines how the person is going to look in the casket.
Right, right.
So with all that being said, we knew that Kenneka died, and like my bro said, she was kept from her mother. You know, her body wasn't released back to her mother for 2 weeks. She wasn't buried till September 30th. So that's almost a month out. Typically, you don't hold a body out that long. But we know there's a lot of crap going on behind the scenes.
Right.
A lot of foolery and bullshit. Took 10 days to do the autopsy. So, you know, what does that tell you? So the picture of Kenneka in the casket, and people say, oh, that's not her, and that's her. She was beaten bad.
Right.
You could tell it was her. Her face was swollen. She was, you know, left out for damn near a month because she was married the end of September. You have to think about all that when you are throwing allegations. Actually, there was not even supposed to be a picture. So whoever took the picture was on some grimy bullshit.
Right,
themselves.
right. Based on this interview that I have read, they did stated that Mama Teresa and others told them, do not take pictures. No pictures. Cut your phones off. No pictures. And there were some people that were there filming the funeral service when they was not allowed to do so because it was supposed to be a private funeral. It's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was invited to the funeral because, you know, Teresa Martin had a lot of problems with trying to find a church to do the service. And one church didn't want to do the service because she was not a member of the church. So recently going back and watching the funeral service, oh my God, Andre Williams did a great eulogy. It was blown away. It made you felt like you was there and being a part of the service. I just felt that some people went about it the wrong way. Also, it was more deep. The people I interviewed stated about the friends being there and how the friends were feeling and how their whole reaction, reading their body language and all. I'm not going to say, but go on Patreon and look at this interview of what was said. It made a lot of sense. I totally believed it because they had respect for Mama T. I gave them the respect as far as their privacy of them telling their story about the funeral. You know what I mean? I never asked any questions to Andre about it because it was out of the respect for Andre. You know what I'm saying? It was out of respect for others, because it's just kind of hard to tell that story and relive that moment when they were there. So yeah, that interview was very deep because I've asked questions. It was just touchy, just to really think about it and look back on everything of who are there and who are not there now. It's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And overall, it brought a lot of people together. Like, it brought you together with me. It brought Avery, Mariah together, supporting Ethic and supporting me and encouraging me for what we've been doing for Kanika and going about it the right way. A lot of people didn't even promote the Kanika Day on their platforms. And I speak on that because we went above and beyond to make that happen. And it was like very few people that made it happen. You know what I mean? It was so deep because, like I said, when you go back to the beginning, you learn that who is who was there in the process, who was there in the aftermath.
Yeah, and who's not there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So, who's not there anymore? Who's dealing with bad karma right now? You know what I'm saying? For not being there anymore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Come on now, talk to me.
Karma.
Yeah, and I know there's some that are laughing their asses off to those that are dealing with karma right now.
Yes.
Have you going like... Oh, it was crazy. We all know what's been going on, and we all know what's transpired. We already know. So, when I engage with people, I properly and carefully do my homework. Just kick back,
Observe.
You got to. You have to. And you have to keep an open mind, y'all. You got to keep an open mind with the situation, even though there's some that don't like others, but you still have to keep an open mind as much as you don't like them. You still have to keep an open mind. Me personally, I don't know about everybody else because everybody else have had horrible experiences with certain people. I get it. Trust me, I do. Trust me.
Oh.
Yeah, I just be like, oh God, like, are you serious? Really?
We're in high school again.
We in high school again? We in the 90s again. We in high school again. But the difference is, it's like you got to be careful with your friends from back in the days in high school to where you relive them kind of moments again.
Yeah, because I don't fuck with nobody from high school.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. Trust me, I don't. Because times have changed, people have changed for the better and the worse, and there's some that have not changed, they just evolved.
Right.
That's all. There's some that haven't changed, they just stopped doing meaningful things to others.
Right.
So, yeah. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen?
Preach, Bishop, preach.
But it's true. It's true. It's true, everybody. Now, back on this horror deal, y'all. Now, overall, y'all, we got to be aware of our surroundings, y'all.
Yes, we do.
Every time you wake up in the morning, you got to be aware of your surroundings. Never leave out your house without a plan.
Facts.
You got to have a game plan, y'all. I'm serious, because you never know what may hit you within that moment, within that second. Because things can happen so fast with the blink of an eye. Yeah. You never know. And my message is to always stay aware with everything you do. You definitely got to be aware with what's going on the internet, especially when your children are surfing
around
through the internet.
World too.
Yes, our children are surfing on YouTube and all that. Or they're surfing just looking for things, and next thing you know, something just pops out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You have to be careful, and you have to watch your children. I mean, they got apps right now to where they put a GPS on your kids. If you got to put a GPS on your kids when they're on their cell phone and find out where the hell they at, do so. Seriously, do so.
It'll save their life. I guarantee.
It will save their life. Sometimes you got to put a bug up in there, and just don't tell them that there's a bug in there where you see them at school. If they leave and ditch with friends and shit, you would know. You will pull up for show, and you would be like, what the hell are you doing? Get your ass back to school. The hell you doing out in school, girl? And then she looking like, Daddy, how did you know that I wasn't in school? Don't worry about all that. Get your ass back up in that damn school. Over here trying to ditch school and shit and try to be grown. Pay some bills around here and shit. Talking about I'm grown. Seriously.
I agree. I completely agree.
Seriously, it's crazy, man.
Time out for being your kid's best friends. Maybe when they like 23 on their own, paying their own bills,
when they grown, ready to pay some damn bills around here, then it's okay. Right. But when they're young, you gotta mold and shape them to learn and pick and choose the people in their life wisely.
Because not everybody is on the same level as you. Some people frown in your face and hate behind your back.
Yeah, it's true. And you have to be careful picking and choosing the people you hang out with wisely.
You think I don't have no friends?
It's a lot of us that don't. Some of us have associates. Some of us have business associates. Some of us have associates where we just go out and get drunk and toe up and party with. When I go out with some associates, I probably do like a 1 or 2 drink minimum where I'm able to drive my ass home, where it's at least at 0.8% to where I can drive my own damn self home. Now, if I'm up the street, it's a different story. But if I'm way the hell out and I know I'm going to get towed up one good time, I'm going to take a damn Uber. I'm going to leave before the party is over. Here's why, y'all. Because when you leave, when the party is over, that's when shit jumps off. That's where things take off. I don't care if you at a party at a hotel, you at a party at a restaurant, you better leave before the party is over. You better leave. I only speak from experience, and I only speak from others that experience the same things. Just like you experienced the situation, I want you to talk about what you experienced of what happened to you a long time ago. You mentioned this to me. There's something happened to you to where you almost got set up. A stranger from out of nowhere warned you and gave you heads up. I want you to tell that story.
All right. Well, I feel like the reason why I connect to Kanika, because I could see myself in her a little bit. Trusting when you're 19 and thinking everybody's your friend and being a ride or die for the wrong people can get you set up, fucked up. And it was a party. It was me and a former friend, and she thought doing like Kanika sneaks type shit, but she didn't know that I kind of like had a guardian angel who was like, nah, this shit ain't going down, not on my watch. So part of the story is you have to be careful who you associate with. You have to be careful who you think is riding with you, because like I said, not everybody that smiles in your face wants to see you win. To my guardian angel, God, for showing me people's true colors, because sometimes I will show you this friend is a fuck person. But you're so like, oh, but that's my, no, that's not. And that's one of the things I will teach my daughter as she gets older, like, because you could be with somebody that commits a crime and you guilty by association and you don't have shit to do with it. So if you don't understand anything else, Giavonni's trying to tell you is watch your back and trust no one. That's an Italian rule. Trust no one.
Hell no, because everybody's a damn suspect until they prove themselves that they worthy enough for you to trust them.
Right.
You was at a party. I just want to reevaluate on this to make sure that we've heard this properly here. One of your friends from back in the day was trying to set you up, and someone had walked up to you, and what did they say?
They said, you need to leave, and you need to leave now. And I was like, I can't leave her. He was like, fuck her. She's trying to set you up, basically. Without saying fuck her, he said fuck her because she's trying to set you up. He told me to get on the elevator. I got on the elevator, called it a different person. And after that, I never spoke to her again. So, I mean, my cutoff game is pretty strong. So, it's like, you have one time across me and that's it.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And you know something? When someone warns you and give you heads up to leave and get the hell up out of there, you wasn't hard-headed at that time. So let's give you a round of applause for that, only because you took heed to it. I just wish...
Well, you know how you kind of hesitate because we kind of talk, I don't like to leave people, you know, if I'm riding with you, I'm riding with you, you know, like, so I felt like, okay, we came together at least, but when I realized what was going on, I'm like, oh, fuck no.
It was all for one and one for all. You know what I'm saying? And I just wish that, you know, that would have happened to someone that we know to where they had a guardian angel and said, look, this atmosphere is not right. And you need to get the hell up out of here. I don't give a fuck. Leave whatever behind. Just take all the important things and keep your keys right inside of your bra in case you need to run the hell off and get the hell out of there and get in your car and drive the hell off.
Right.
Who gives a fuck who you came in there with if they're not worthy enough for you to trust them? Now, if they were worthy, because true friends, when some shit go down in that particular moment, they're going to fight to the death.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean why I say that. They going to fight to the death. They're like, no, we all going to die together. But we going to get the hell up out of here together. Not know everybody else get up out of there like, hey, what happened? I don't know. No, that's not cool at all. I'm just calling it how I see it.
I just wish Kanika was with some real ones, like some real true blood friends, and she would be here today. She would. It didn't have to go down like that. They didn't have to do baby girl like that, but they chose to be snakes. And they know who they are. I don't have to mention names.
No, we don't have to. I'm pretty sure that they know because, I mean, that's just low blow. I do believe in karma. I do believe in it. I feel that the only person that knows what really happened is her, and the Most High only knows what really happened because we wasn't there. None of us wasn't there. We wasn't there two-stepping. So
no, we wasn't
there.
See, if we was there two-stepping, she would still be here.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But
right. I mean, if time machines exist, trust me, we would go back into time
and get her and be like, come on.
Nah, you need to get up out of here. This shit ain't no right environment for you. You need to go.
Right.
No, you need to go.
And see, I wasn't even going to say nothing else about it, but I just felt like I need to just put that disclaimer out there. Like,
yeah, as you
I don't have to mention y'all name. Y'all know who y'all are. Baby girl should be here. That's
right.
all I'm going to say.
That's it. So what is your message?
The message is, if something doesn't feel right, ladies, because we have an innate gut feeling when shit is about to pop off. Not everybody uses it, but I know when shit it ain't right. I ain't going to go hear it. If something doesn't feel right, ladies, atmosphere is not right when you're around these people, then stop fucking with these people.
Right.
Because most likely you're not on the same wavelength as them, and God is going to remove them because you can't take everybody on the next level you're about to go. You just can't. It doesn't work like that. You know, there's people that I was friends with that I no longer talk to. There's people that you go to college and you become friends with them that you no longer talk to because you're outgrowing, you get married, you have children, life gets busy. You just need to make sure, like my big bro said, to always check your surroundings. If something don't feel right, I would suggest you call. You have a friend that you can trust and you tell her, I'm going with this person, da-da-da-da. Get the person what the car look like, who the person is. So if some shit pops off, like what happened to Kanika, then that person can say, well, she called me and said she was with such and such and such. Just accountability. You just have to protect yourself because ain't nobody going to be loyal to you like you're going to be loyal to yourself. And you have to also remember that everybody's loyalty is not going to match yours. Like there's people that God has taken out of my life, and at the time it hurt. It hurt like hell because I'm like, I never thought that person would turn on me.
Yeah.
I never thought, this person would do me dirty, and they did. And you just have to like put on your big girl panties and be like, you know what? I'll take that L.
Yeah, you got to.
I could not be here. It would have caused a lot of people pain. But the reason why I say what I say, the reason why I'm the one I am today, because it has a lot to do with my mom being murdered and having a guard up. I'm always on guard. That doesn't allow a lot of people to come in because I trust no one.
And as you should, you have every right, you know what I'm saying, to feel the way you feel on that note, because I can relate to you 110%. You know what I mean? It's like the older you get, the smaller your circle gets. You know what I mean? It's like once you grow up in the world, you have children and you get married and things like that. There's certain people that may not be in your life. They only be around for a season. You know what I'm saying? They only around for a season for a reason. And Medea said it best. true friends that will be around and be there for you through thick and thin. You know what I'm saying? Then the ones that you appreciate the utmost, you hold on to them by any means. Our society right now is not built on loyalty and honor and respect these days anymore. People are not going off of that anymore because it's all about self. It's all about them developing their own wealth without sharing the wealth. You dig?
Yes, I agree.
You dig? So
I did.
And it's true. So anybody that's dealing with these kind of things, sit back and observe and pay attention to your surrounding of people that so-called call themselves your friends.
And if they are toxic, they need to go.
Pretty
if
much.
they drain you, then they need to go.
Because it's okay to talk about things. It's a difference between complaining and venting. Complaining is a person that go on and on about their problems and they're not trying to resolve the problem. They like to swim in the problem. Venting is a person that talks about the problem but resolve the problem. So if the problem has been resolved overall, it's okay to talk about it and leave it alone, but be careful who you talk about it to. Be careful, because some people will prejudge you, misunderstand you, and all that. So it's like you got to be careful who you open your mind up to when you're venting, because some people would take it as their own perspective of it, as if you're full of drama or you're a problem person. So I explain this because we all have problems. All of us do. Everybody does. Even the listeners that's listening to us right here on Ethic Talk Radio may have some problems. Everybody has problems. It's how you deal with your problems. It's how you overcome your problems. If you're a God-fearing person, pray about it. If you're a spiritual person, pray about it. If you're a positive person, keep pushing. Put into the universe that you know that it's going to be all right, that the universe is going to make a way, that God is going to make a way by any means. Everybody's been dealing with something. It's been a lot of problems out there. Like, you know, when we see the posts on Facebook, what we see more of negativity than positivity.
Right.
Because of the frustrations, because of the emotions. People don't want to hear positivity. They want to hear more of the negativity. If you're going to embrace the negativity, come with the solution for ceasing the negativity. And what I mean by that, okay, somebody's missing. All right, what do we need to do to handle this situation? What do we need to do to find that person that's missing? What do we got to do? How are we going to resolve the problem? Anybody can talk about a problem, but come with a solution to the problem. You dig?
Right.
That's real talk. So that's my words and my thoughts, as well as your thoughts here on Ethic Talk Radio. It was good having you here on Ethic Talk Radio. Good to have you on the show here. You know what I'm saying? You family, you know, the door is always open here for you on Ethic Radio. The door is open for everybody, for everyone. As long as you're cordial, as long as you're respectable, as long as you can say, hey, there is a problem, but we need to figure out how we're going to come with a great solution to resolve the problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. And again, I'm glad that you came here to Ethic Talk Radio, you know, from the J4K and everything. And also J4K all day, still J4K all day, justice for Kanika Jenkins. I like to give my shout outs to the listeners out there that's been listening and tuning in to us here on Ethic Talk Radio. Also listening to us here on YouTube, you know, placing your great comments in the chats and all that good stuff, you know, showing us some love. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, y'all. Subscribe and get those likes up. You know what I mean? Follow us on the Mixcloud app. Also, follow us on Instagram at ethic_radio. And for more updates and interviews exclusively, go check us out on Patreon, right? Go to Patreon, y'all, at Ethic Archive Reels, where we're giving you podcasting and we're giving you guys film content. Now, before I go, who do you want to give a shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to my daughter, who I love. I want to give a shout out to my mom, Evan. I want to give a shout out to Teresa Martin, because she's the strongest woman I know. I want to give a shout out to Joy and Gina and you. And I want to give a shout out to Justice Kanika crew. I love y'all.
Shout out to the J4K community. Whatever's going on in the drama in the J4K community, y'all. Let's figure this out. Let's come with a solution. Let's get along with one another, y'all. Let's stop all this bickering. Let's stop all this madness. And let's get it right. Let's get it right, y'all. It's going to be all right, y'all. We just got to put our emotions to the side and let's figure this out. You know what I mean? Because there's more stories that are coming from Ethic Radio. There's more stories are coming from everywhere. There's still more, and it will never stop. It's a never-ending journey.
Right.
But yes, so we finna close out y'all here on Ethic Talk Radio. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And Miss Giavonni, you take care of yourself. Yes. We're going to be in touch. All right. So peace out, y'all.
All right.
Much love, and we gone, y'all.
All right.
You're listening and tuning into
the station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Ethic Radio. Broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California.